Jai Sadgurudeo. Good morning to all of you. My name is Sriran and I have joined this satsang from North Carolina. Before we begin this session, I would like to bow down and offer my prayers to the holy feet of Lord Sadgurudeo. So I request all of you to close your eyes and stay focused on the prayer. बार बार वंदन करूं सदगुरुदेव हमार, यहाँ वहाँ सब ठाम में महिमा अपरंपार। शरण शरण मैं शरण हूँ, हे गुरु बंदी छोर, मोहे उबारो हे गुरु, यह सौ बार निहोर। Welcome to weekly English Satsang organized by North America Institute of Vihangam Yoga. In current times, our day-to-day life has become busy in fulfilling our physical and mental requirements and social responsibilities. In this fast-paced routine life, the requirements of our soul are often forgotten. So, first of all, I would like to congratulate each one of you for taking some time from your busy schedule to fulfill the requirements of your soul through this satsang. Through this satsang, you will experience the benefits of yoga and pranayama, which can positively impact your health and nourish your body. So, next we are going to move on to is a talk by Chetna ji. She is going to talk about her meditation journey. She is a second generation Vihangam yogi, and today she is going to share her heartfelt journey of meditation with the crazy demands of the work life and what keeps her motivated and dedicated to Sadgurudev. So over to you, Chetna ji.
Thank you, Srirangji. Jai Sadgurudeo to everyone. My name is Chetna and I have joined this session from Chicago, Illinois. First of all, I personally feel that this is a great initiative that NAIVY has started to provide opportunity to new and less experienced Vihangam yogis like me. And we are encouraged to share our journey of meditation, our journey of Vihangam Yoga, and how we keep ourselves motivated and going in this journey. I would also like to let you all know that my core knowledge and wisdom is at a very beginner level. But since I've been asked to share my journey, I will definitely try my best. I bow down to Lord Sadgurudeo and seek for his forgiveness in advance if I'm not able to do justice to this seva. To begin with, I think it's definitely very important for me to introduce myself briefly and take you back to my background. As Srirangji has already mentioned some of it, I'm very fortunate to be born in a family who has been following, practicing, and devotees of Vihangam Yoga for the past 3 generations. My grandmom was the first one to be introduced to Vihangam Yoga, and then it followed through my entire family. So I grew up in the holy city of Allahabad, which a few of you may know. It's a small town in India, in the state of Uttar Pradesh, where we have one of our biggest Vihangam Yoga ashrams. I grew up visiting ashram, attending various satsangs, events, meeting thousands of devotees, Vihangam yogis across India. And as a kid, I was definitely not understanding all of it back then. But my mind and my soul was attracting those positive vibes. And I was able to understand the peace and the serenity over the worldly chaos. I feel like fast forward 20 years in my life, when I started my career and an independent life, the byproducts of it, stress, anxiety, overthinking, work pressure, exhaustion, all of it became a part of my routine. And It became a little more challenging for me when I was transferred from India to the US on a client assignment. And I had to come to this country all by myself, meaning I didn't have my family by my side. So while navigating through these career transitions, added responsibilities, being introduced to a new culture, new food habits, and everything else, what remained very constant and very core in me is that little Vihangam yogi, who had seen all the phases and stages of peace, serenity, calmness, satsang, meditation, all of it that I had imbibed since childhood. I feel like that all stayed within me. So now the next step for me was to explore it furthermore. Not that I was not already doing it, but then take it to a level where it becomes the part of an essential part of my life. So, if I have to define this whole experience in a very simple manner, I would name it as a habit. Meditation for me is a habit, which gradually turned into a discipline and which acts as a stress buster and relief for me, and eventually allows me to pause, gravitate, and reflect on some of the important elements of life. Now, the habit that I'm talking about includes meditating for 10 to 15 minutes a day, along with reading a few couplets from Svarved. So, these two things are very simple to do. And at the same time, a lot of us might might feel like we don't have enough time to dedicate to these things on an everyday basis. So I'm going to just walk you through how I do it. Um, our Param Aradhya Sadgurudeo has already simplified it so much for us. I've heard him say in a lot of his Amritvanis that if we are not in a position to sit in a defined posture or at the defined place, we can do it from anywhere at any time as per our situation. Now, I am never advocating for it and I'm never negating the benefits of doing a meditation at the same time and perhaps sitting at the same place every day. That definitely adds more peace to you. But for a person like me, if you're not able to do it, if you are continuously traveling, or for any reason, if you are not able to maintain the same place, the same posture, the same time, it is still doable for us, is what I personally believe. Um, Unfortunately, my current role demands me to be very agile and manage clients across multiple geographies, time zones, and etc. Now, that does not allow me to sit at the same place and same time, as I said, but it is so much non-negotiable for me to find at least 15 minutes out of my 24 hours and give it to myself. I also leverage the Vihangam Yoga app very much, very frequently, especially when I'm traveling, I'm in a different city, I'm perhaps on a plane or anywhere. I leverage the app to, those whatever number of hours of my travel to just calm down, read a few Swarved couplets, meditate at my level, and then just bring the peace that I deserve to bring on a day-to-day basis to myself. I feel like the world is full of everyday battles around meeting the ends, supporting family relationships, navigating workplace stress, meeting some of the deadlines. But what meditation does to a person, to me, is amidst all of this, it allows me to pause and focus and then prioritize to do the things that matters the most to me. It's like a very big platter, probably a buffet that we go in different parties and, get a chance to be tempted by a variety of food items that are served in front of you. So I take my life like that. On a daily basis, there are n number of elements which are served in front of me. Now, it's my careful choice to take out the elements and the ingredients which suits my body, which suits my mind, my soul, and then reject a few elements which are not so good, not so healthy for me. Going back to the example of a platter or a buffet, some of us who are little extra health conscious would think twice before taking a lot of carbs or anything, which doesn't probably suit your body. Or if you had like a really heavy diet in the morning, you would consider eating something light in the evening. Similarly, I kind of plan each of my day. And then towards the end, I generally see that what were the elements which were avoidable for me. Like, it is very much possible that the answer is none. So if the answer is none, whatever number of hours are left for me in that day, that evening, I would carefully choose 15 minutes out of it to give it back to myself, to give it back to my meditation, my practice. And I would probably avoid a few conversations with my friends, with my colleagues. I would probably excuse myself out of a client dinner 15-20 minutes early. I would probably not scroll social media that night. So these are some of the examples that are from my day-to-day life. It could definitely be different in everybody's situation, but these are the things that I feel are important to be thought through and to be sought out very, very carefully of what are the ingredients that we are choosing on our everyday platter. Besides this, there is one another thing that I would like to highlight that keeps me going, that gives me a lot of calmness, a sense of mental security, and that is the Vihangam Yoga annual events. I feel like for a person like me, as I said, who is in this country by herself, it is super important to also get a sense of community, get a sense of belongingness, and then have the assurance in your mind that if something goes south, if something doesn't go well in your life, there are people to back you up. And that is the exact thing that Vihangam Yoga does to me. I very much look forward to the annual events where the entire Vihangam Yoga family gather. We do Vedic Havan, prayers, meditation, Satsang, Sadhana, all together. And we are very, very blessed to have Lord Sadgurudeo and the Achar Parivar grace us with their presence and divine power every year. So I personally would encourage everybody to join those 1, 2, 3 days of spiritual healing. I name it as spiritual healing. And it kind of fuels my rest of the year. It, as I said, keeps me running. It gives me the assurance that things are good, things will be good. And to me, it's like, going back to the safest place, which for most of us is our mother's home back in India. So it feels like that to me. And that also encourages me to be more regular, more disciplined. It could be with meditation, it could be with satsang, it could be with seva, because every time that we meet as a group, we definitely are motivated by some of the senior practitioners of Vihangam Yoga. We see people doing outstanding work in their respective seva that they have taken. So I believe this is a complete package for me, which encourages me, motivates me, and I get to learn so much from almost everybody I have met so far. I have just learned so many things from them. I think with this, I would conclude. I know we are almost at time, and I would respect everybody's time and attention to my talk. Please forgive me if there was something that wasn't appropriate. I just wanted to share my personal journey and how I keep myself on point, on check on a day to day basis. Um, if there are questions that I can help you with, please feel free to ask me. Otherwise, back to you, Srirangji. Thank you, everyone. Jai Sadgurudeo.
Thank you, Chetna ji. I really appreciate you sharing your journey, your motivations, your struggles, challenges with all of us. Definitely, it is very inspiring how you keep yourself motivated and try to align yourself with Sadgurudev's knowledge and try to stay on the path, regardless of what challenges life throws at you. You know the professional career that the challenges it brings because of your travel heavy job, etc. But it is really inspiring to see that you are still staying on track. You are definitely an inspiration for all of us. Few key things that I picked up from your talk. Basically, you mentioned about habit, and that is a very powerful thing. We know that we are slaves of mind, and mind is slave of habit. So, getting into habit of meditation is a very essential thing for all of us. I mean, we look at our own journeys, be it simple things like brushing teeth, right? When we were very young, we had to be reminded every time, every morning our parents used to remind that you have to brush the teeth. Now it has become a habit and such an integral part of our life that we don't even have to think about it. That has become an automatic action in our life. And with meditation you are doing the same thing. You have made it as a part which has become a autopilot of a kind, which allows you to meditate every day. I really liked your um, take on same time and same place. We know that it is very, I mean, even though that is a very essential thing, again, as that falls under part of habit, for mind to basically be motivated or trigger that thought process of meditating at same place and same time. I really appreciate that you sharing your perspective on it. Yes, it is essential, but if it should not become an excuse, right? You have shown, you're leading it by example, saying that I'm not using that as an excuse to skip my meditation because I'm not able to do it at the same place and same time. I do it whenever the time is there. If there is no time, I make at least 15 minutes of time for meditation. So that was really a powerful thing to share, because it can act as a deterrent for a lot of us when we sometimes take those recommendations as strict rules. So your take on it, doing it regularly or giving more priority to a regularity over a maybe a technical thing of doing it at a specific place and time. That was very helpful. Also, the use of app. I also really like the app because it allows me to read Survey Dohas anywhere, especially when you are traveling or when you are out with your family. You're at your relatives or friends' place. On a vacation. It still allows you to carry Swarvid with you, which is and very really small package. So it's very interesting. Another thing sometimes I like to do with app is the prayers, right? You can actually listen to those prayers. So there is a small play button at the bottom of the prayer, so you can play that. That is very soothing. So I really like app very well. I mean, it's one of my favorite thing to do. um, and another thing that you mentioned, which is slowing down. Again, it is very essential. We live in very fast-paced life today. So definitely, it is very essential for us to slow down, keep, give time for yourself. Another thing I really liked about, retrospective or self-evaluation. And I'm very impressed that you are doing it every day. I mean, it is a easy thing to say that, we have to retrospect and see what could have been done better. But actually implementing it on daily basis, it is very, very, very difficult. I have we in our professional life we go through this every time, right? After every project we do through go through retrospective, but doing it on everyday basis is really very, very, very motivating. That's great. So, and one last to your point about the annual events, we do have event coming up in New Jersey. We'll make that announcement. But I really appreciate Chetna ji you sharing your thought process and your journey, meditation journey so far. It was very encouraging. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Srirangji. Thank you. Your added comments and elaborated explanation gives me more positivity and makes me feel that I'm on the right path. So thank you very much.
Thank you for inspiring us. So I would like to request, I will open this up for questions. So if anybody has any questions, or if they would like to share, some of their journey as well, they are welcome to do so. So if you bring any, these questions, insightful thoughts, and share it with the forum, that will help all of us to learn together and motivate each other. So the floor is open. Okay. Don't, I think we have to use this forum to share our thoughts and motivate each other. But I can understand sometimes, we may not have questions or thoughts to share. That's absolutely fine. But, it's a very good forum for all of us to share our thoughts.
Sadgurudeo, Shirangji. This is Mukesh. I have one question to Chetna ji, and I think probably others might have the same thing. I heard that it started with her grandma, I believe, and then kind of a whole family uh, gravitated around this Vihangam Yoga. So I would like to know, how was she able to convince others? Because, everybody in this world has their own path, Even in my family, I see 10 people going different ways, whatever they, hear and kind of work for them for whatever reason. So bringing everybody to one common place is really a challenging task, So I would like to hear her thoughts if she has anything to share on that. Yes.
Jai Sadgurudeo Mukeshi. So thank you for your question. I feel like more than me, my mother and her mother have done a very good job leading by example, showing us what exactly they're doing, and also showing us the positivity that they bring to the table every day. I mean, personally, for me, I haven't really seen a lot of other things to calm your mind besides Vihangam Yoga. That's like the honest answer. Because I was like born in this family and I had seen all my uncles, aunts, my mom's relatives, everybody practice the same thing. Everybody making sure to attend the annual events that are like, I know that India has a lot more events as we have here in the US. So I feel like that acted as a part of my life while growing up. As a kid, I felt like maybe every kid has got the same thing to see and explore in the world. But yes, as I grew up and started going to school and started interacting with different kids and college and stuff like that, I realized that no, it's not that way. People are doing a lot of different things besides focusing on the core of your life and core of some of the peaceful things. I don't know if I'm able to put it the right way, but personally, to me, I had not seen enough and more to actually pick and choose. For me, Vihangam Yoga was the defined way, and I would say I proudly and gracefully sort of indulged myself into it. And there was a point when Lord Sadgurudeo himself had come to our home, and he had uh, he did the first level of he inducted me to first level of meditation along with my siblings. So I think that energy and that blessing of Sadgurudeo was on us. That would be my answer.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate
Jai Sadgurudeo. Good morning to all. Thank you, Chetna ji and um, Mukesh ji and Shrirangi. I would like to comment on it's a very, very good question raised by Mukesh ji and responded by Chetna ji. Um, you know, in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna also mentioned that a birth in a family with spiritual descent is very, very rare. It is considered even higher than taking birth in a very wealthy family, very rich family. And you know, Bhagavad Gita can be read and misinterpreted. It happens very, very, maybe more than 90% of the times. But it will be much more accurate when it is heard from Mahapurush through the medium of a satsang. So then at least one begins to understand the essence of what that message is. So I think the journey of those kind of souls is pretty much very, very beautifully described by Chetna ji actually. And for them, you know, they're born with that kind of a legacy, and they can keep it in their pocket, and their sadhana is probably very much fructified. But I can share from my personal experience where there was no such legacy. My family, at the best, my mother was a very good jari, but the mind was always fluctuating on all kind of worldly subjects, right? But at least we have culture in India where, as a child, when we grow up, there's pieces of puzzles that you keep collecting wherever you go. So that thing was there, and but the journey um, in that kind of scenario where there's no legacy passed down of information could be very, very democratic, could be very, very different for everybody, very diverse. For example, I can tell you that I have so many close friends, and no matter how much you discuss about a particular way of sadhana, a particular, it is very, very hard for them to really buy into you. They will be willing to invest in your business in this and that, but but not in your technique sadhana. So that's why I thought what you mentioned is so much true, actually, right? And then when we hear so much satsang from Mahapurush, then we begin to learn that this path of God realization is has multitude pathways, and only those people will be able to understand who are constantly immersing in themselves into swadhyaya and satsang and sadhu samagam. Otherwise, these three things become the fuel for them to continue that journey, irrespective of which path they are taking. And it turns out when you do a little bit more deeper research that but all of these pathways are literally about either two examples, my understanding so far, I may be wrong, feel free to correct it. In one case, the mind is like they see it like a genie, where they have given the genie to like there's a pole and Genie just do up and down on the pole, and then you're okay. And here up and down is Guru and Govind, or some divine tattva, or Ish. So this way you are not really controlling the mind, but you have put the mind most of the times in the divinity. That's one pathway. And the other pathway is where it's like a monkey mind, and you are using the monkey with rope. First, the monkey is jumping within a 30-foot rope diameter, and then you pull the rope to 10 meters. Now it has smaller area to jump, and now you have really made it 0 meters. Now the monkey knows that jumping is useless, and it pretty much stops there. So really, both of them. This is like a categorization of multiple pathways. Even the Nam Jap falls into the former category actually, because there also it's like you're in the Nam Jap. It's about your akshar. You are literally doing the vachik, and then it becomes mansik, and then it upansik, and then becomes mansik, and then para. So there's a pathway, all these things. And here in the monkey case, there's multiple ways, and what we do is one of the ways. So that has been my understanding, and so that's why I have learned that it's not about educating everybody to follow our pathway. It's about illuminating them about the underlying concept. Which one works for them, what they are best at, what they can actually literally do. But in all of these cases, the common thing that everybody will benefit, who are not part of the legacy, right, is swadhyay. They have to do. There's no other way. Satsang they have to do. But satsang is, one has to be careful, not just listening to a katha vachak or speaker, speech orator. It's about listening to Mahapurush, and it can be any Mahapurush. And satsang is described in our scriptures as sacha wala sat and sacha wala sang. It cannot be a jhootha wala sat and sacha wala sang, or the vice versa. So that has to be understood. And sadhu samagam, which is also very critical, very, very important, means the kind of company that we keep. Then I think that fuel can actually help the people who are coming in from different kind of backgrounds and diversity. And maybe then what happens is the end result is a Sadguru will come in their life. May not be our Sadguru, depending on what path they are taking. And then they will get on the right track, hopefully, for the subsequent evolution. So that has been my in a way, you can say, a summary or essence of my research. And I would love to hear other people's experience like that. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Hasmukh Patel. Chetna ji, your presentation on sharing was very motivating. More than that, it was inspiring. It didn't sound like you were preaching. You were sharing your life, your experience. And you were so clear and one-pointed that it really made me part of your speech. One thing that I got from you was a buffet example. How there are so many varieties of food and choices available. And what do you do? So many temptation comes not only in buffet line, but in life, where we can use our judgment, what feels good with my discipline. And you shared your examples very well. The other thing I took it from you was your name is Chetna. It's amazing. You are one with your Chetna, the Surati, and your life just represents that. And you are one with that, no matter what deviations come in the life. And as I was listening to you, you were very, very clear, and it really drew me in. So I really congratulate you for for following the path and keeping on it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hasmukh for your kind words. This encourages and motivates me even more.
Yeah, thank you, Mukesh ji, Niranjan ji, and Hasmukh ji, for a very good conversation. So, Chetna, just curious, did your name given by Sadgurudeo?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, yes, that is why it is so apt.
Yeah, I find myself eternally blessed and definitely very, very fortunate. But yes, this was all done in the background by my parents, by my grandparents. So can't take any of the credits for sure. But yes, truly, truly blessed to be a part of Vihangam Yoga family.
Yeah, and it is very rare, you know that, right, Chetna ji? Situations like that kind of information being transmitted as a child is very, very rare. And so
Yeah.
you're truly blessed on that perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, I certainly acknowledge that, and very humbled and very blessed once again to get this satsang early in my life.
Hi, Jai Sadgurudeo. Yeah, no, it's a very good conversation. I was, after a long time, actually, I'm listening to the satsang also. Just one thing that Mukesh ji asked the questions. I think the way I see is, when you're talking about, how do you basically cascade this Vihangam Yoga journey to others? I think we can split it into two ways. One is when you're talking about yourself and your peers, maybe your brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, or young elder generations or equivalent. And then the other part is to the coming generation of yours. So like I have seen, couple examples, like especially, Vijayji's family, or there's so many other, families like that, where what I have seen, like if a person is associated with Vihangam Yoga and the journey, then, it is little bit, I would say, better or easier to kind of cascade this knowledge to the next generation of yours. So if say Mukesh ji, you yourself are connected with the Vihangam Yoga, and you are kind of religiously following all these meditation, joining satsang and all that, then the your next generation, like your children, I think passing this knowledge to your children would be easier than passing this to your brother, sister, uncle, aunt, like that. So I have seen, like, when I said the example of like Vijay ji, or so many other family, Rajkumar Gupta ji, or all that, when you yourself are engaged, then since childhood the next generation is kind of watching you, observing you doing all that. You are joining satsang, you are doing meditation, you are attending these events of Vihangam Yoga. So the kids actually observe you, and when you take them to those events, you kind of discuss with them about the benefits of meditation, benefits of satsang and all that. Slowly I think they evolve, and by the time they, like, maybe they reach to say they become adult, I think they have very sound basic knowledge of Vihangam Yoga. And I think that's where it is easier for them to follow this Vihangam Yoga journey. So I think I don't know the reality, but for in case of Chetna ji also, like when her grandmother started Vihangam Yoga journey, then she passed on to her mother, and then it came down to her generation. So I think passing down to the next generation, I would say it's a comparatively easy. That's what my feeling is, and that's where I have seen here also with other family, like if I have seen in my family also, like I'm the first person to start this Vihangam Yoga journey, but fortunately I started my journey when my one of my kid, he was little, probably 1 or 2 year old only, and then the second one was not even born. But because for the kids, when they came to kind of understand the things, they are seeing all these in day-to-day life, and that's where I noticed that most of the time kids will ask those questions. Okay, why we are doing this, what is the benefit, and they might have some questions. When we when we go to satsang, we take them to the satsang also. It doesn't mean that they are forcibly asked to sit in the satsang, but they enjoy kids playing also. But at the same time, there are time when, like, when prayer starts, when aarti starts, every kids would be called upon to come and join the prayer session. So they will come, they will do they will follow everything, and then slowly I think it raises the curiosity in them, say, okay, who are these people we are doing aarti for? Or sometimes when Swamiji comes, they might ask all those questions. So when we, I think, positively work on it, act on it, and guide them, probably I feel it's easier to convey and pass on the knowledge. I think that's my understanding. I'm not sure how much it works, but that's my understanding.
Yeah, thank you, Raman. A very good point. Yeah, when you have a young family, they can definitely easy to be, mellowed or molded into this or any path. Yeah, and definitely who had outgrown you or your control. It's very difficult.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is basically just a kind of a sansmaran, I would say, a very short sansmaran which happened yesterday. So just wanted to share this. So I think the story goes back, I would say several months. When for some reason I started getting disconnected from Vihangam Yoga, Seva, Sadhana, and Satsang, everything. For several months I've been disconnected for some personal reason, and that's where of course I started feeling also that, okay, I'm kind of going away from Vihangam Yoga, but I think a situation demanded like that. So maybe I was just waiting that maybe sometime when the situation turns around, probably I'll get opportunity to come back. Now we all know that Swamiji is coming to New Jersey. So actually New Jersey team approached me and ask me that if I can contribute some time in some seva. So I thought, okay, maybe the situation has kind of improved a lot now by now. So I thought, okay, it's maybe good time to start acting on it, and so I jumped on it. And slowly I started taking up some seva, whatever I can. Of course, I'm still because of being untouched for such a long time, I'm still picking up. But yesterday what happened that I was just sitting at home, it's a little summertime, so kind of trying to relax a little bit. And then in one of the WhatsApp group, I noticed that Vijayji was he was just sending some message. He said that hey, I'm at this temple, flying distributing some flyers. Usually I've seen that we go together, at least two person, but when he was sending the message, and I was working on something else also, so I sent a couple other messages on a different topic. Then I noticed that after some time he again sent another message that, okay, hey, I see little less traffic in this temple, so I'm heading to Balaji temple after meeting with a person. So that kind of somehow triggered me, and I thought that, okay, looks like he's alone. Nobody is with him, for this flyer distribution seva. So, but I wasn't sure that, okay, where he is, because he just sent message that, okay, after meeting a person, I will head on to Balaji temple. So what I did, I just called him just to check where he is. He did not pick up the call. Then I waited for another 5 minutes, and again I called him. He did not pick up the call. So I was unsure that, okay, whether he is still at the first temple or he is at while in the meeting with the person, or he is already on the way to Balaji temple. So I was just kind of thinking all that, and then my wife told me that why don't you start from home? Why don't you go? First go to the first temple, see if he's there. If he's not there, go to head on to Balaji temple. Maybe you can meet directly there, and the temple is little far from here, at least a half an hour drive. So I thought, okay, let me do that. So I started from home. I first went to Umiyadham temple, the first temple. I drove there. I saw nobody was there, kind of giving the flyers. So I thought, okay, let me, now head on to the next spot. And then while I was going, but I didn't know that person. I don't know who was that person, where he would be meeting, right? So I was unsure, but somehow it clicked me that a week before, Rajkumar ji actually talked with the same name. That, okay, because we are kind of doing shop to shop flyer distribution previous week, and I remember he said the similar name for one of these shop owner. So I just guessed that, okay, let me try that shop. There's no harm. At least I'll drive by and see if I can see him. But it was little crowded, so I just went there, and I couldn't find him. Then I went to nearby public parking lot and thought, okay, maybe if I find his car, I know he's somewhere around, because he was not picking up my call. So I went to the public parking spot also. I couldn't find him. Then I thought, okay, I don't know where he is. He's not picking the call also. So let me, start heading for Balaji temple. So I just, kind of came out from the parking lot, and the way was like, you drive, on a road for I mean 2-3 miles, and then you have to take the highway, so that and that will take you to the temple. So I was just thinking, okay, I don't know what should I do, and then I started kind of heading to Balaji temple. And since it was little far, I had initially wished that, okay, probably we can go together in one car instead of going separately. So when I started, I was about to take the highway, and lo and behold, I saw that when I was waiting on a signal, the car in front of me was Vijayji car. That was surprising to me. I couldn't expect that I'm trying to find him and he is in front of me waiting on the signal. So immediately, I called him and I kind of coordinated with him, and then finally, went to Balaji Temple. So in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say here is that this kind of incident happened in past also, but I have seen that whenever you are engaged in seva, whatever kind of seva it is, Sadguru Dev is always watching our every action, every thought, and things turn around very easily, very quickly in your favor. And I'm sure this has been experienced with so many people joining here. But I just thought to just share, because again, sharing all these sansmaran is also kind of I feel that it's motivating. I always try to listen to these kind of sansmaran, because that motivates me too. So though it was a small one, but I just thought to share. And I'm sorry if I said anything wrong. This is my just my personal experience, my personal thought, that all these happened. It was not just a coincidence. It was definitely somewhere Sadgurudev is kind of observing us, what we are doing, what we are thinking, and that's the way he things turn around in our favor. Thank you very much. Jai Sadgurudev.
Thank you, Lalmaniji. That was very inspiring. I mean, when we show our dedication and when we are really, seeking for a seva, Sadgurudev definitely helps us, in performing the seva. So very inspiring, very encouraging. So I think we should all keep that in mind. Sadgurudev is always watching us, our actions, our intentions, our desires, and he's always blessing us. Very inspiring, Lalmaniji. So looking at the time, we will move on towards conclusion. But before that, we have
Can I talk something?
yes.
Jay,
Go
sir.
ahead.
This is Surya. This is my own experience. I'm talking. Since long, I am giving the meditation session, the classes. But I asked my husband many times, why don't you join? Why don't you join? Why I am giving the class? Why don't you sit? You also do the meditation. He never pay attention. But for the last 1 month, April 5th, how it came to his mind, he himself told me, from today onwards, I want to do the meditation with you. He never get up early morning, 4 o'clock, he is getting 3:30, 4 o'clock, he is sitting along with me. He's doing meditation daily. So he put a pillow, first he started putting the pillow under his feet, under his base, and leaning on the back. Gradually, now how much improvement he got. Now he's not leaning on the back, he's sitting straight without pillow. He's doing the meditation. I am so proud. So how much feeling I don't know how the Sadgurudev made him to do this. I don't understand. Even I'm so proud of it. So I want to share this good news. One day he will talk about his experience, about the satsang, about the Sadguru, about the meditation. This I want to share. I'm so happy. My husband is doing along with me daily meditation.
Yeah, thank you, Suryaji. It is very encouraging, and it is definitely Sadgurudev's blessing onto you and your family, because it is very hard for us to convince anyone. Sadgurudev has already said that prachar to ho gaya hai, right? He has already spread the knowledge. What we are doing is just tapping that soul and waking them up. And you did your part, tapping the soul, and now he is into Vihangam Yoga. So this is very encouraging. In fact, Mukeshji, maybe this goes back to your question: how do we motivate others? It is just letting them know about Vihangam Yoga, because if they are going to join, they will join. All we have to do is just tap them, right? Sadgurudev has said that prachar to ho gaya hai, mere sipahi jayenge aur prachar ho jayega. So there the sipahi are us, all those soldiers. We are the soldiers. We have to do is just tap the soul, and they will just wake up and join.
Yes, for anything, time has to come. That's all.
Yes, that's very true, Suryaji. We will move on to the announcements. So Chetna ji did talk about her inspiration was joining those annual functions, annual events. So we are very blessed to see once in lifetime event happening in New Jersey. So there is going to be inauguration of the Acharya Niwas, and it's a future site for our ashram. So I request everyone to please make every effort to attend that session. In fact, we have 2 sessions. I'm going to flash them on the screen. Just give me a second. So if you go to us.vihangamyoga.org, on the homepage itself, you will see Vedic Mahayagna. We have one in California, one in New Jersey. You can click on Know More button. So if you scroll down on this page, you will see there is a page to register. I highly encourage everyone to register. Every core member should make every effort to register for these events. Looking at these sheer numbers, these are not easy to achieve. We need support from every core member, not just them, but, try to bring in your family and friends as well to these events. Registration is very important because that helps us, NAIVY, in planning for the event. In New Jersey, we have it on 9th, and in California, we have it on 2nd August. So please mark these dates and please register. It is very essential for us, to get the registrations as soon as you can. Please, don't wait until last moment. Just register as soon as we can.
One comment I wanted to make, Shrirangji, that
Yeah.
Especially for the California event,
Mhm.
even though a lot of the members are on the phone right now, if you know anybody in the West Coast, your friends and maybe family members, please inspire them. We need more registrations for the California event. There's very few number of people here who are trying to do advertisement as much as possible. And we will need all the support from your side. Recently, some of our Guru Bahans and Guru Bhais, they have been calling their friends here and requesting them to register. So please do that. I think it will greatly help because this is the first time Swamiji is actually visiting California. And I was told by one of the Guru Bhai that Swamiji somehow is foreseeing that there will be a lot more proliferation of this knowledge in this part of the US also. So just wanted to kind of get that word out and really help in this side as well through your friends and family network. Ji, thank you.
Thank you, Niranjan ji. Please consider that as one of the seva that Sadgurudev is expecting from all of us. Lalmani ji has shared, how Sadguru helps us when we have the desire and motivation to engage in seva. You will find a way. You may not have anybody in your mind right now, so you can probably simply start going through your contact list and see if you find any number, which might be from California. You never know, right? We just have to do a little bit of effort and Sadgurudev will show us a way. So that was about the upcoming events. So please make sure you register as soon as you can, and let's make these both events a success. So now we have come to a last part of our satsang. I request everyone to sit down for Shanti Path. In Shanti Path, we chant for peace for everyone in this universe. May Sadgurudev bless the entire cosmos with peace, love, and prosperity. So I request Jessica ji to present the Shanti Path. Over to you, Jessica ji.
Jai Sadgurudev, Shanti Bhav. Hey Prabhu Shanti Swarupa ho, Shanti, Shanti, Maya, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Jana, Shanti, Ho. Purna, Shanti, Maya, Shanti. He Prabhu, Shanti, Pradana Kara. Dora ho sarva Shanti. Deva Sada Phala Shanti Maya. Shanti, Shanti, Sukha, Shanti. Bole Sadgurudeo Bhagwan ki jai.
Thank you, Jessica ji, for reciting Shanti part in such a melodious and devotion-filled voice. This concludes our session for today. I would like to thank all of you for joining us and making this satsang a success. Special thanks to Sulbha ji, Chetna ji, Mukesh ji, Niranjan ji, Hasmukh ji, Lalmani ji, Surya ji, Jessica ji for their active participation, and also thanks to the backend team who does a lot of coordination behind the scene to arrange these sessions, line up speakers, etc. So really appreciate all of your efforts, because of whom we are able to conduct these sessions and get benefit from these talks. I pray to Lord Sadgurudeo for peaceful and spiritual week ahead for all of us, and we will see you next week on the same Zoom link. Thank you. Jai Sadgurudeo.